Penguins are probably one of the most recognizable birds in the world. Although their natural habitat is a place that only a few humans have ever set foot on, the South Pole in Antarctica, we can thank the movies and TV for the penguins' popularity, with cartoon shows like Pingu and the Penguins of Madagascar leading the way. Then there's the old Batman TV series that featured a villain named Penguin. When Batman jumped to the movies, penguins were even weaponized. But there was no denying that they were cute, flightless birds that waddle with their short feet and too big a body. They were even depicted to be great singers, belting out hits by Queen, the Beatles, and others in the Happy Feet animated movies released in 2006 and 2011. These two movies are not only memorable because of their great soundtracks, but also because of their realistic portrayal of penguin life in the Antarctic. Well, except for the singing, of course. Anyone who has seen the movies must have also realized how harsh the environment can be in the South Pole, with temperatures that can dip way below freezing. But the penguins have survived and even thrived. So why indeed can penguins survive such freezing temperatures? And while we're at it, why can't penguins fly? Well, the two questions are actually intertwined, as the answer to one will also explain the other. But before we go to the answer, did you know that, contrary to popular belief, polar bears and penguins don't really live together? In fact, they are literally poles apart, no pun intended. While penguins live in the South Pole, polar bears live in the North Pole. Did you also know that there are 8 types of penguin species in Antarctica? They are the emperors, Adeles, Macronus, Magellanics, kings, gentoo, rockhoppers, and chinstraps. The Happy Feet movies only featured 3 emperors, Adeles, and rockhoppers. There was also a scene in the first Happy Feet movie where male penguins were huddled together to protect their eggs. Despite the heavy snow, strong winds, and below freezing temperature, they stayed this way and at their place while the females were out to sea hunting for food. It was a realistic portrayal of penguin behavior. What makes penguins impervious to the elements is the fact that they have 4 layers of feathers that overlap to give maximum protection from the wind. They also don't lose too much body heat because it is trapped inside by their body's thick layers of fat. Adaptation also plays a major part in the penguins' fight against the cold and for their survival in the Antarctic. They have evolved smaller flippers, beaks, and feet to ensure that only a small amount of heat can escape from them. The arteries and veins in these body parts are also arranged in such a way that body warmth is actually recycled instead of dissipating into the air. So that's why penguins have survived and thrived in the harsh and cold Antarctic world. Finally, the penguins have replaced their wings with flippers through years of evolution, primarily because of their habitat. Penguins are coastal animals and so take food from the sea. Thus, they have become quite adept divers, reaching a depth of 500 meters below the sea to catch fish. Their big body allows them to withstand huge amounts of pressure and water temperatures as cold as -1.8 degrees Celsius. The Antarctic also does not pose any kind of predator for the penguins on top of the ice, so there was no need for them to take flight. In the water, however, there are leopards, seals, and killer whales to avoid. being a good swimmer has become a priority. With no use for wings, the penguins lost them in favor of flippers. So that's why penguins, despite being birds, cannot fly. We hope you have enjoyed this latest episode of So That's Why. Please don't forget to click on the subscribe button to get your daily dose of fun and interesting videos. Thanks for watching.